Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the last group and we are as Darator and I, Anti Rizkyani as Ran and Rida,
And I am Bertulayung as Kat.
And I, Aulia Ramadhani, as a Regan Nursan.
And we will show our picture, and the title is
Fun Girl. There was a boy in her room. She looked up at the number printed on the door, then down at the room assessment in her hand, phone hall 33. This way definitely wrong, but maybe it won't fall hall as these dormitories look alike, like public housing tower for the elderly maybe. Ketchel tried to get her dad before he broke up the rest of her boxes.
You must be Qatar.
The boy said, grinning and holding out his hand.
Kat,
She said, feeling a picnic jam in her stomach. She ignored his hand. She was holding a box anyway. What did he expect from him? This was a mistake. This had to be mistakes. She knew that pawn was a card room. Is there such a thing as card rooms? The boy took the box out of her hand and sit on empty bed. The bed on the outside of the room was already covered with clothes and boxes.
do you have more stuff downstairs?
He asked.
We just finished. I think we're going to get a burger now. Do you want a burger? Have you been to Pierce yet? Burgers the size of your purse.
He, he picked up her arm. She slowed.
Make a purse.
He said. Cat did.
Bigger than your purse.
The boy said, dropping her hand and picking up the backpack set left outside the door.
Do you have more boxes? You've got to have more boxes. Are you hungry?
He was tall and thin and tan, and he looked like he just taken off stocking rod. Dark blonde hair flopping in every direction. Kat looked down at her room upside again. Was this Regan?
Regan! Look, your man's here.
A girl stepped around Kat and in the doorway and glanced back coolly. She had smooth auburn hair and unlit skirt in her mouth. The boy grabbed in and put his down mouth.
Regan, Qatar, Regan.
Kat said. Regan wrote and fished in her purse for another cigarette.
I took this side.
She said, nodding the pile of books on the right side of the room.
But it doesn't matter if you got feng shui issues, feel free to move my seat.
She turned the boy.
Ready?
When door shut behind them, she sat on the bare mattress that was apparently her feng shui, what the last of her issues, and laid her hands against the cedar block wall. She just needed to settle her nerves, to take the anxiety. She felt like black statues behind her eyes and an extra heart in the her throat. Unsolved it at the down to her stomach where it belonged, where the cold at least tied into a nice knot and walked around it. When Kat got back to her room, her romance Regan was still gone, or maybe she was gone again. Her boxes looked untouched. Kat finished putting her own clothes away, then opened the box of personal things she brought from home. She took out a photo of herself and Vern and pinned it to the hook back behind her desk. It was from graduation. Both of them were wearing red robes and smiling. It was before Vern cut her hair. Vern hadn't even told Kat she was going to do that. Just come home from work at the end of the summer with a pixie cut. It looked awesome, which probably means it would look awesome on Kat. But Kat could never get that haircut now. Even if she could work up the courage to cut off 15 inches, she couldn't single wide female her own twin sister. Ned Cat took out a framed photo of their dad, the one that had always sat on their dresses back home. It was an especially handsome photo, taken on his wedding day. He was young and smiling, and wearing a turtle surfboard on his lapel. Kat set it on the shelf above her desk. Then she set out a picture from prom of her and Abel. Kat was wearing a shimmering green dress, and Abel had a matching cummerbund. It was a good picture of Kat, even though her face looked naked and flat without her glasses, and with it was a good picture of Abel, even though he looked bored. He always looked kind of worried. Kat probably should have texted Abel by now, just to tell him that she's made it, but she was wait until she felt more breezy and nonchalant. You can take back taxis if you come off all muddy and melancholy in a tag. It just sits there in your phone, reminding of what a drunk you are. At the bottom of the book were Kat's, Simon's, and Bass poster. She laid this out on her bed carefully. A few were originals, drawn or painted just for Kat. She'd have to choose her favorites. There wasn't room for them and all on the corkboard, and Kat had already decided not to hang any on the walls. Out were good and everybody would notice them. Simon raising the sword of mages, Bass lowing on a fancy black throne, the two of them walking together through wearing gold-sleeved scarves whipping in the wind. There were a few more things left in the book: tight corset, a ribbon where had given her that said Clan Club, commemorative bust of Simon and Bass that says order from the Noble Collection. Kat found a place for everything, then sat in the bed of wooden desk chair. If she sat right here with her back to Regan's bare walls and boxes, it almost felt like home.
Okay guys, I think that's all from us.